Hey y'all, it's me, it's your girl, the real deal Lanita Scarce Reaction Channel. Like, share, and subscribe. What's up, real deal? We're gonna get into our how y'all doing first of all. We're gonna get into some statements that Jonathan Quiles made on his own. He made some statements on his own, and we're gonna walk through some of this so y'all can know this. He should get the death penalty, or what you think he should get for doing this to this beautiful young niece, his niece. Okay, only thing he was doing at the moment, y'all, was thinking about protecting his family, not protecting her. He was worried about protecting his family. So I'm gonna give y'all some information before we watch the video. Okay. Let me switch up on the pictures. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. This is so touching. I just can't. I want to take it back to the sister. Okay. We're gonna roll back into the sister. What the sister said. Okay, here we go, y'all. Jonathan, this is Jonathan right here in the picture. He's 38 and IYANA is 16. Okay. IYANA ended up getting pregnant by him, pregnated by Quiles, and his wife already pregnant also. Okay, so they pregnant at the same time. And they believe he is being the father, okay, because she had a book bag and stuff when she left. She went to left school to go there. IYANA Sawyer sister took the stand on that Friday, and she described the inappropriate touching, kissing, and ex encounters she said she witnessed between Quiles and her sister. She said she never took anyone, she never told anyone about her sister and Quiles in order to keep a good relationship with her sister. She wanted to protect her, and she said she kept the secret for at least 2 years. So, they sisters, but she never thought that he was going to do that to her. She testified that her sister was in love with this man. Okay. Yeah, she was in love with the 38-year-old man. Okay. She also testified Quiles wanted IYANA to get an abortion after she got pregnant, and that she wouldn't get one. Okay, she didn't want to get one. Okay, so he gave her some pills to try to prevent the pregnancy. If she didn't want to get rid of her baby, she wasn't going to take the pills. Okay, everything is allegedly, y'all, but it happened, but it's allegedly. Okay, her sister then got emotionally on the stand, guys. She got a little emotion talking about her sister because she and her sister were very close. IYANA said her Aunt Quiles' wife and her sister were both pregnant by Quiles at the same time. Okay, I said that already. Okay, let's go down to the school. Okay. Now, when they was looking for one of the detectives said they was told to look for things like bones, a bag containing women clothing, school books, which they found school books, and they found clothing because he the one Jonathan, pretty boy Jonathan, is the one control what goes in the dumpster, y'all. So he knew what he was doing. Okay. The photos showed in court were underwear and bras from Victoria's Secret, a book from Terry Parker High School, and paperwork from Ace Pick, a part where Quaid's work confirms there was no human remains was found. Another detective testified about items found in a blue GMC, Envoy at Ace Pick Apart, a towel and a stain on the floor of the vehicle. Both tested negative for blood, according to the detective. Sawyer uncle, who denies killing her, could face the death penalty if he convicted of murder. Okay. A new 2023 ruling now allows a death sentence with only an 8-4 votes, okay, by the jury, instead of the 12-0 previously needed. We don't need 12 jury. We don't need an 8, okay? You don't need an 8-4 votes, okay? Now, here are some statements before we go to his bond hearing. Here goes some statements that Quiles made, y'all. Yeah. He said, these are some things that he said about that beautiful young lady in the 10th grade. The girl might be pregnant. That's what these quotes by him, these are quotations by him, okay? The girl might be pregnant. I can't lose my family. I have to get rid of the body. The dumpster is at my job. I control what gets dumped. They are going to give me the needle. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's what the prosecutor said. Those statements you will hear not only from the defendant's voice or through the own biological brother, Joseph Quiles. Okay, so we got a long way to go, but we haven't started on the third day yet, people. Okay. Now, the defense said the state can't prove that Quiles was indeed the father of the unborn child. And notice that Sawyer's body has not been found, and she might be alive. Okay, but she's not. We know she's not alive. The defense also said there's no blood or crime scene and DNA evidence. Okay, that will presented by prosecutor does not prove Quiles is the killer. Now you don't need DNA, y'all. Now her sister, and then they said, okay, now see, this is what confused me. They said Kimberly Mobley, mother of IYANA, testified on the stand during the murder trial of Jonathan Quiles, who is accused of murdering her daughter and her unborn grandson. See, I thought this lady was her mother, but they keep calling it her sister. After opening statement, they called, see, that's Kimberly. I kept telling them that was Kimberly, but they keep calling Kimberly's sister her. Mobley said the unborn child was a girl and her name was going to be Hazel. That's what that's what they got. Mobley said, y'all. One of the close friends that said Sawyer was missing. See, that's what I don't understand where the sister at. I kept telling everybody Mobley is her mom. Kimberly is her mom. But they got a girl sitting here saying it's her sister. Now, is that her sister, her mom? I'm confused with that. Okay, y'all, let's take a look at this. She said Kim said that was her daughter.
Man accused of killing his missing teenage niece will stay behind bars. This is new video.
Hello, y'all. Let me make sure y'all can see this.
Video of Jonathan Quiles in court this morning. Quiles is charged in the death of IYANA SAWYER and her unborn child. He was indicted on 2 murder charges. SAWYER was 5 months pregnant when she was last seen leaving Terry Parker High School in December. News4Jax reporter Jennifer Reddy was inside the courtroom this morning. Joins us live now from outside the jail. Jennifer.
Bruce, this morning a judge denied bond for Jonathan Quiles, and that means that he will remain behind bars here at the Duval County Jail. Quiles appeared before a judge, showing very little emotion. He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He's accused of killing his niece, IYANA Sawyer, and her unborn baby. He is also charged with sexual battery. Police say he is suspected of impregnating Sawyer. Members of IYANA Sawyer's family were inside the courtroom. As they were leaving, they did not want to give us any comment, but one of them was wearing a shirt with IYANA's picture on it. This is video of Quiles yesterday being brought from the homicide office back to the jail booking department. Quiles has been in jail since January on an unrelated sexual battery charge. As he walked in front of our cameras, he remained tight-lipped as News 4 Jax reporter Vic Michelucci confronted him.
Are you going to be forthcoming?
Quiles did continue to say that he could not comment at
Okay, now what I want to do, real deal, I want to take y'all back to a video that they keep saying Kimberly Mobley. I keep saying it's her mother, but they keep saying it's her sister. Okay, let me show y'all this. This is not her. I don't know. They say, 1 minute they saying Kimberly Mobley is her mother, it's her sister. I ain't seen the sister. I haven't. Let's check this out. Okay, let's look at this, y'all. Let's look at this because Kimberly Mobley is her mom. But they keep calling and maybe they make a mistake. Everybody can make a mistake. I just don't. I thought that was her mom speaking on the stand, not her sister. But let's check this out, y'all.
Now on News 4 Jax at 5, grim and disturbing new testimony in the murder trial of a Jacksonville man charged with raping and killing his pregnant teenage niece, IYANA Sawyer.
At that time, in December of 2018, there were accusations or rumors that IS and Jonathan Quiles had some sort of sexual relationship, correct?
Correct.
Prosecutors say Sawyer was pregnant with Jonathan Quiles' baby when he murdered her in 2018.
Her body's never been found, and today the jury also heard testimony about a 16-day search of a landfill to try to find the teenager's remains. News 4 Jax reporter Marilyn Parker was in the courtroom as prosecutors laid out more of their case.
The state laid out their extensive search of the Otis Road landfill for IYANA Sawyer. A small army of investigators searched for 16 days. And after all of that, the defense says they found no evidence of a crime involving IYANA Sawyer or Jonathan Quiles. It's almost 11 a.m. at Terry Parker High School on December 19th, 2018. This is the last time IYANA Sawyer is seen leaving school grounds.
It was about 10:45-ish, 10:50-ish a.m.
Duval County School Safety Officer Olivia Harris says the school cameras show Sawyer talking with her sister, SS, before leaving.
So the two sisters sat there, and SS was talking to her sister, and she was doing like this. And she was adamant about what she was telling her to either do or not to do.
Then the search begins. The state called Sawyer's aunt, who testified she worried Sawyer ran off with the father of her unborn baby. She also noticed her undergarments were missing from her room.
I knew she was sexually active when she went missing.
With someone in particular?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And who is that?
That would be Mr. Jonathan.
JSO got information Sawyer was possibly at a landfill. Starting January 15th, 2019, over 16, they sifted through 5,500 tons of trash.
Our search was in the area that the landfill records had said that those dumpsters from Ace Pull Apart would have gone.
Ace Pick Apart is where Quiles worked. Crews found paperwork from Ace Pick Apart, Victoria's Secret undergarments, and a book from Terry Parker High School.
No sign of IYANA, correct?
No, we did not find our victim's body. No, ma'am. No, sir. Apologize.
You found No blood,
No, sir. No, sir, we did not.
no trace of anything remotely related to anything that could have been contributed to a crime scene, correct?
No, sir.
At the Duval County Courthouse,
Okay.
Marilyn Parker, Channel 4.
They still didn't show her mom. Kimberly Mobley is her mom. They keep saying IYANA sister testified to told her uncle impregnated, but I still don't see her sister. I still don't see her sister. I don't see no video with her sister on there. I just don't. I don't see every video. I've seen her mom, and this is what I want to do. I want to pull. I don't want to see the same thing. I want to pull her mom up, Kimberly. Let me go out here. See, they called 1 minute. They calling Kimberly Mobley. Kimberly Mobley is her mother, y'all. Yeah, Kimberly Mobley is her mom. So let me see. It makes me go back and put sister because they keep calling the mother. They keep calling the mother. See, the mama look like her sister. Look like she could be her sister. Okay, let's go to day Jonathan. Try day 2. Kimberly Mobley took the stand. IYANA, let me put IYANA's sister. Take stand. Whew, Lord have mercy, y'all. Okay, let's go right here. Let me see something. See, these folks over here in this chat right here getting confused like me. Because they keep saying the sister is the mama. And that part, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to start right here, real deal. Now, this lady right here, I ain't never seen her. Let's see what she going to say. Let's check this out. Let's check this out right here, y'all. And then I'll let y'all go. Everybody can make mistakes, but they made a mistake. That Kimberly Mobley is her mom.
Assuming?
Yes.
In a pattern. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Got off my routine. If you need a glass of water, let us know. We can certainly accommodate you. If there's an objection made, just pause, let me rule the objection, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
That said, state your main inquiry.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Tanya Porter, retired JSO detective.
And how do you spell your first name, ma'am?
TonyA.
And how long have you been retired from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
A year and 9 months.
And how long were you tenured with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
25 years and 10 months.
When you retired, ma'am, or shortly before you retired, in what capacity were you with the JSO?
I was still working in missing persons unit.
How long were you a detective in the missing persons unit?
About 4 to 5 years, more so 5.
Prior to that,
Yes, I worked in several divisions of the sheriff's office.
would that include other detective divisions?
Yes,
And would that also, ma'am, include patrol?
yes.
Now, can you describe to the jury what were your duties and responsibilities of being a missing detective?
We had to try to locate persons that was reported missing. We dealt with people that were reported missing that had Alzheimer's, and we also dealt with runaway juveniles.
So just to be clear, you would investigate missing individuals of any age potentially?
Yes, correct.
And ma'am, how did you get assigned casework?
By a sergeant in the unit.
So is it random?
Yes.
Or when you're on call?
No, it's random. The sergeant just assigned the cases.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention, Detective Porter, back when you were still employed with JSO to December 21st, 2018. Did you get assigned a case involving IYANA SAWYER?
Yes, I did.
Now, was it normal for you within JSO policy to be assigned the type of case with IS?
Yes.
And was that based upon her age?
No, it's just the choice of the sergeant at that time, whatever case he assigned us.
Okay, so it didn't matter, the protocol is just if you get assigned, you start working.
Yes, correct.
And was that assignment based upon IS's mother calling?
No, it was the case was reported on 12/19. The case was assigned, but my first contact was the 21st with the complainant calling.
And did you speak with IS's mother, Kimberly Mobley?
Yes, I did.
So during those 2 days of reporting between 12/19 and 12/21, would the case then have been assigned officially to patrol during those first 2 days?
Yes, when we get a case which is a code 5, patrol has 10 days to try to locate the victims. And if they do not locate the victim, then it shifts over to the detective division.
But based upon that time frame, the 10 days did not lapse prior to you becoming involved.
No, it did not.
Now, so Detective Porter, when you receive information involving a juvenile that has not been talked to or spoken to by their family or returned home, how do you start to digest that information in regards to how you're going to conduct your missing persons investigation?
I speak with the complainant to get me, and whatever information I receive is how I start working my case. We'll read the report once you get the report, and then we'll make contact with the complainant, which would have been the mother. And then I go from there for my investigation on the information that is provided to me.
And in this case, did you learn the last time that IS had been seen?
Yes.
And where was that location?
At school, Terry Parker High School.
And did you make contact with personnel from Terry Parker High School?
Yes, I did.
And I think as well, did you make contact with Officer Harris?
Yes, I did.
And did you ask to observe video surveillance?
Yes, I did.
And Detective Porter, did you observe that video surveillance with Officer Harris and another detective, is it Buxton?
Yes, Detective Buxton, yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for that spelling. Actually at Terry Parker High School.
Correct.
And was that based upon the Wi-Fi and having to be on the server at Terry Parker High School?
Correct, because SBO Officer Harris tried to come to our office to try to pull up the video, but she was not able to have access, so we end up having to view it at the school.
And based upon the way that you viewed the video surveillance, were you able to obtain a copy?
I did not obtain a copy at that time. I requested a copy.
And did you try to create a timeline based upon your observations from that video surveillance?
Yes, I did.
And based upon your observations, did you want to speak to some other individuals, meaning like her sister.
Correct.
And were you able to make contact with her sister, Samaya Sawyer?
Yes, I did.
Now, we had talked about Detective Buxton and the missing persons unit at JSO. Did you all work with partners, alone? How did that process occur?
We work individually. You're assigned individually to cases, but we go out as partners sometimes just so that you're not alone.
Now, in regards to individuals that are missing, do various tips or leads come in?
Yes, I do.
And did that occur in this case?
I got all of my information from the complainant.
And no matter how small or big that lead, would you try to follow up with it?
Yes, correct.
And would that have included an area of Azalea Ridge?
Yes.
And were you given some information that a potential Hispanic or mixed or African-American male had been associated with IS at that location?
Yes, correct.
Were you able to ever find any further information in regards to this tip?
No, I did not.
And before I talk about a couple of other situations, ma'am, that you had followed up on, is it common to receive tips that end up leading nowhere?
Yes, correct.
Is it fair to say that people generally just want to help?
Yes, correct.
Now, ma'am, were you also provided that IS might have been involved with someone by the name Jose?
That was the name I was given, correct?
Were you ever able to determine who Jose was?
No, I did not. I went out to the apartment complex to try to see if I can find the description of the Jose that I was given. I also went by management because sometimes when you go to apartment complex, if juveniles are rowdy or known in the neighborhood, the manager may know the person. So we went by the office trying to make contact, but they did not know a Jose. And we drove around the apartment complex, did not see anyone. And then I later posted flyers, the victims' flyers.
And that's what I was going to ask. Did the family create flyers that were provided, or did JSO?
I'm sorry, I created the flyer and I provided it to them.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And the family then would have been responsible for putting those flyers around town?
Anywhere they want to, yes, correct.
Now, were you also given some information that possibly that there had been a transaction on the bank records of IS to a Wendy's?
I was informed, yes.
And did you go by that Wendy's?
Yes, I did.
And did you see if you could obtain some video surveillance from that date related to the transaction?
Yes, I did. I made contact with the manager, but at that time she did not have access to the video. She said she had to reach out to her regional division to get the video for me. So I provided her my contact information, time, the date and time that I was given the transaction occurred.
And did you ever receive any video surveillance?
Not at that time, no.
And then have you later learned that the date that IS's bank records from IS was actually an earlier date than the 12/19 date?
Yes.
At the time, though, was there some confusion over what date she had gone to Wendy's?
Yes.
But again, you're just following up anything that's provided to you.
I was following up what I was given, the date and time.
Yes, ma'am. Now, did you also learn that IS had not too long before 12/19/2018 had worked at Chick-fil-A?
Correct.
And is that the Chick-fil-A located at Southside Tinseltown area here in Jacksonville?
Correct.
Did you go to that location?
I did not. Detective Pichardo went for me.
Okay. But that was followed up?
Yes.
Now, we had talked about already with the mom, Kim Mobley. We've also talked about the sister SS. We also provided a stepsister through the father's side of Brianna.
Yes, correct.
And did you speak with her as well?
Yes, I did.
And was she able, and again, without going to what she stated to you, was she able to provide you any additional information regarding IS's whereabouts?
No, she did not.
Did you learn that through your investigation, the IS had a small friend group?
Correct.
And did you also try to reach out to those friends as well?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to make contact with some of them?
I was able to.
And was one of them Albertha Vey?
Yes.
And did Albertha Vey convey to you information additionally in regards to the Jose person?
Correct.
Did Albertha Vey believe that IS might be with Jose?
Yes.
And did she provide as much information that she knew about Jose through IS?
Yes, correct.
Now, were you also able to speak with another friend of hers, I think by the name of Sabraya?
Yes, Sabraya.
And I think it was last name Peyton? You need a moment to look. Would
Yes.
looking at your report, ma'am, help refresh your recollection?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sabraya Payton.
Could you spell her first name for the record, please, ma'am?
Sabriyah.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, through this investigation as well, we provided the phone number of IS.
Yes.
And did you attempt to call that number?
Yes, I actually sent her a text because sometimes although the juveniles don't respond to their parents, if we send them a message saying, hey, you've been reported missing, they'll contact us sometimes, even if they don't contact the parent.
Did you get a response?
No, I did not.
Did you ever get a response?
No, I never.
Now, back at the office, did you get a call in relation to IS?
Yes, I did.
And do you recall the name of that individual who called into missing persons?
Yes, I do.
And what was the name of that individual?
It was Yusuf Quiles.
And could you spell that first name, please, ma'am?
Yusuf.
And did you actually take that direct name down from the caller ID?
Yes, I did.
And without going into what this individual stated, did he, I shouldn't say they, I apologize. It's a he, correct?
Correct.
Did he provide information in regards to IS's case?
Yes, he did.
And did you learn the relationship of the individual you were speaking with to a Jonathan Quiles?
Yes, I did.
And did you learn that they were brothers?
Yes, I did.
Now, did you memorialize the date that you received this phone call?
Yes, I have it written in my report, the date and time.
And do you have an independent memory right now of the date and time?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
When I proceed, I was working that day, and I don't know why, but I ended up answering the phone. And the person on the phone told me they wanted.
Detective Porter, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we got to be careful about that the hearsay, ma'am.
Okay.
So what I'm just kind of tell me that, again, that you got the phone call, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And like you were just telling, you just happened to answer the phone?
Correct.
Okay. And what was the date of that call?
It was the January the 8th, 2019.
And I think you even said you put the time down.
I did, correct.
And what was the time, ma'am?
8:49
Was that PM or AM?
a.m. We use military time when we do our report, so it says 0849.
Yes, ma'am. Now, when you spoke to the person, was he willing to give you his name?
Not at first.
Okay. And that's why you made sure to write down the phone number and the name from the caller ID?
Correct.
Okay. And through that conversation, like you stated, we learned it was the defendant's brother.
Yes, correct.
Okay, Jonathan Quiles. And based upon that information, did you pass it along to the homicide unit?
Yes, I did.
And had a homicide detective been assigned?
Detective Abbott.
And did you give that information to Detective Abbott on the same date of January the 8th?
Yes, I did.
Now also too, Detective Porter, did you also learn of a case that had been pending from earlier in the year, from March 2018, involving a Kamar Humphrey.
Yes, I was aware of that.
And was that provided by Ms. Mobley, Kim Mobley, as well?
Correct.
And did you reach out to him?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to make contact?
Yes, I did.
Now, was this in person, by phone? Can you tell us how you made contact?
I made contact with him at his employment.
And do you recall where he was employed at the time?
Popeyes, off of University in Atlantic.
And was he willing to speak with you?
Yes.
And did Mr. Humphrey have any hesitation with meeting with you?
No.
Did you advise Mr. Humphrey why you wanted to speak with him?
Yes, I did.
And did you question him in regards to IS?
Yes, I did.
And did you learn that Mr. Humphrey was not in the area at the time?
Correct.
Had Mr. Humphrey gone to visit family for the Christmas holiday?
That's what he told me.
Now, did you ever speak to Naomi and Jonathan Quiles?
Yes, I did. Not John. Yes, I did.
I think first, let me ask you this. Did you go to the residence?
Yes, I did.
And did you go to the residence off of Trout River Road?
Yes, I did.
And when you first arrived at the residence, was it just Naomi? I mean, it was Quiles at the time, but Mobley now, is it just her at the house?
It was her and Jacob.
Okay.
I was meeting both of them.
And when you say Jacob, would that have been a child, an older child that was of the defendant?
Yes.
I think about the same age of IS.
Near, yeah.
Okay. A teenager?
Yes, a teenager.
Yes, ma'am. And did you speak with her in regards to her knowledge of IS?
Yes, I did.
Now, while you were speaking with her, did the defendant arrive home?
Yes, he did.
And did you also speak with the defendant?
I actually was talking with Naomi. He would interject and say things as I was asking her questions.
Was the intent overall at that juncture just to then speak with Miss Naomi Mobley?
Correct.
Had you been provided any information to the complainant in regards to Jonathan Quiles being a potential suspect?
At that time, yes.
And is that why you did not want to speak with him during the middle of your investigation?
Correct.
And I think that you had met with Naomi, I think was it December 31st of 2018?
Can I refer to my report?
Will that help refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The exact date and time. Yes, I met with her on January the 3rd at the time is 13:25, which is 13:35, which is 1:35.
Thank you, ma'am, for clarification on that date. And ma'am, after that phone call with the defendant's brother, did you provide all the information contained within your investigation aspect then to Detective Billy Abbott?
Yes, I did.
And at that time, did that include your missing persons investigation?
Yes, it did.
No further questions.
Good afternoon, Detective.
Good afternoon.
Former Detective, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So a few questions for you. When this first started out on December 18th, 19th, you actually were assigned the case around the 19th or 20th, correct?
Correct. It would have been the 20th. It was written on the 19th, so the reports don't come to our office until the next day.
Okay. And to be clear, she was listed as a runaway, not endangered, correct?
Can I refer to my report and I can give you the exact what is listed here?
Yes, please.
She's reported as a missing person.
Missing person. Okay. At the start of your investigation, though, it looked like she was a runaway, correct?
But yes, patrol has 10 days to follow up. When it's not anything any evidence of foul play, kidnapping, or anything like that, patrol has 10 days to follow up, and then we get involved. And then sometimes we get involved, like this case, before the 10 days.
Okay. Wouldn't it be fair to say you guys got involved, meaning, when I say you guys, meaning your division missing persons, got involved because the family was adamant about having this followed up on sooner rather than later?
Correct.
Matter of fact, she was calling repeatedly every day.
I spoke with Ms. Mobley, yes.
Yeah, repeatedly every day, right?
Almost every day.
Yeah. All right. Now, as this case first started out, when you first talked to her, she wanted to know why IS wasn't even on the news as a missing person to start, right?
Not the first time. The second time I spoke with her. The first time I made contact with her on the 21st, that's when she called the office about getting updates on the information. It wasn't until the 26th, after Christmas, that I spoke to her that she was irate about her not being placed on the news.
Okay. And these are your words, irate. And she was really hot under the collar.
Oh yeah, she was upset that she wasn't on the news.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that the more you tried to talk to her about this, the more upset she became?
She actually, when I explained to her our procedures of how and why she wasn't placed on the news, at that time, to me, she understood what I explained to her, but she did call back later and asked to meet me in person.
When you say later, that same day?
That same day, yes, within like 5 minutes.
Okay. That was, bear with me on that. So you explained to her the policy and procedure, that being that IS was not an endangered person or listed as foul play, so therefore she didn't qualify for the criteria to be placed on the news.
At that time.
At that time.
Correct.
And Ms. Mobley was really upset about that. And as you stated, called back within 5 minutes demanding to meet you.
Yes.
Okay. And that wasn't, I need to meet you. It was a very assertive.
She asked if she could meet me in person, and
Right.
I agreed to do so.
Okay. And when did you agree to meet with her in person?
It was that same day. It's just that I was having work done on my car, and I told her I would come over once the work was completed.
And you went there with the other detective, Detective Butts?
Yes, correct.
Buxton, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I want to backtrack though to the 21st when you first got the case, okay?
Mhm.
Now, when you first got this case, as you stated, you met or you called over to the officer at Terry Parker High School, correct?
I did not that same day,
Okay.
but I did make contact with SBO Officer Harris, yes.
Yes. But and what day did you meet with Officer Harris?
And I'm referring to my report. It says here on December the 29th, and I have the time of 1441, which is 2:41 in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. So that was a good 10 days before you could meet with Officer Harris to get the video, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, during the course of when you first got the case, I know you were following up and doing things as far as departmental procedures.
Correct.
But would it be fair to say the family wasn't waiting for JSO? They were doing their own thing to move forward, trying to find SS. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, that'd be fair to say.
Okay. They were doing flyers and they were trying to get the word out in every way possible. Would that be accurate?
It's fair to say. I don't know what they did. I did know I provided them the flyers to pass out and hand out to anybody and anywhere.
Okay. So you assisted in that, but they were doing that on their own.
Correct.
Okay. Now, you were interviewing family members and things of that nature, correct?
Correct.
At what point did you go to the house and look around the house for any missing items and things of that nature?
The first day would have been
Giving up a hard time, y'all.
it was on the 26th.
Okay, so that was after Christmas.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so at this point, it's been close to a week since she had become missing, correct?
She was reported on the 19th, correct.
All right. All right. Now, as far as the people that you were interviewing, all of those names came from her mother, Kimberly, correct?
Correct.
And those were IS's friends.
Correct.
Okay. And there was also, you were trying to speak with her sister, SS, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, you had an occasion to speak with Albertha, as you stated.
I spoke to her via telephone, but not in person. But I met with Sabrias in person.
Okay. Now, at some point, weren't you in fact going to meet and follow up in person with, was it Brianna?
Brianna, I interviewed Brianna and the father at the same time at their residence.
Okay. But you were also supposed to follow up with her for some additional info, which that never happened too, correct?
I gave her my card that if she obtained any additional information, I asked her to give me a call.
Okay. Now, so around about what time did you go over to meet with her father and her stepsister?
I have it here on the 27th, December 27th at 10:50.
Okay. So again, this is a week after the fact, right?
Yes.
All right. Through the course of your investigation, it's my understanding that you learned that there was an individual by the name of Jose who lived over in the Azalea Apartments area, correct?
That's the name I was given, correct.
Right. And that name was given to you by who?
Miss Mobley,
Okay,
the complainant, I'm sorry.
that's okay. And isn't it in fact true at that point in time, it was believed that Jose may have been the father of the baby, correct?
That's what I was told at that time, correct.
That was by Miss Mobley, right?
Correct.
Okay. At that point in time, she had not even mentioned Jonathan Quiles, had she?
No,
Okay. And to be clear, she had not mentioned Jonathan Quiles as a potential father of the child either, had she?
not to me. At that time, no.
Okay. Now, so you went to the father's house, that's Willie Sawyer.
Correct.
You met with her and the stepsister. Now, and I'm not going into the specifics, but was Brianna reluctant to talk to you because her father was there?
I wouldn't say she was reluctant to talk to me. I just think if there was something that she wanted to tell me, she was, I don't know if she just didn't say it at that time. I just had a feeling that maybe if there's something else she knew, she could talk to me outside of talking to her father. Because sometimes when we interview juveniles in front of their parents, they're not as open to us as when we talk to them by ourselves.
Okay. And fair enough. Now, were you able to look or search the area around the Azalea Apartments for this individual by the name of Jose?
Yes, we drove around looking for her because I didn't have a last name or anything, just a description and the name Jose. So we looked around the apartment complex to see if we could find any Hispanic, Black Hispanic males, went to the office to see if maybe a person of that name was known to the manager, and then we posted flyers.
Okay. You also interviewed SS, correct?
Correct.
Okay. At one point, you actually confronted SS as to why she hadn't been forthcoming about Jose either, correct?
Correct. Is it Jose? Jose, yes. At that time, I was given the name Jose. It wasn't until later I asked her, why didn't she tell me Jose was Jonathan Quiles?
Okay. All right. And as far as, and correct me if I'm wrong, prospective other fathers of the child, they had given a couple of different names, didn't they?
Correct, they did.
And those were who? Do you remember?
I can tell you. I was given a name by Miss Mobley, the complainant, I'm sorry, of a P. Gonzalez, then a boy named Brian, and then eventually they told me the father's name was Jose, Hispanic male.
Okay. And what date was that, please?
And that would have been, that's when I first made contact with her at the residence, and that would have been the 26th.
Okay. And on the 26th, at no point in time did they ever mention Jonathan Quiles, correct?
Not at the house.
Okay. And when I say mention Jonathan Quiles, I mean as the father of the child, right?
At that time, I was at the house, no.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, you were advised that Brianna got pregnant. I'm sorry, not Brianna. That IS got pregnant over the summer, and that she was very close to Brianna and would tell things specifically to Brianna because they were very close, correct?
It was Samaya that she was very close to, and that's who she would tell information to.
Okay. You didn't learn that she was close to Brianna and that she would hang out with Brianna at school?
Let me refer to my report back. I have here in my report that Kimberly informed me that Brianna was a stepsister that also attended Terry Parker. But I don't see here in this section where I have that she would tell her stuff and would tell her stuff. I don't have that written in that.
Okay. All right. Now, when you were over at the residence with Miss Mobley, the complainant.
Yes.
Before you went over there, you had actually told her, you know, don't touch anything. You guys want to be able to go through it and be able to conduct your own search or investigation. Would that be right?
I didn't tell her don't go through anything. I just told her we would come over and make contact with her, and I will answer any question.
Around the time that IS went missing.
Correct. He told me that he had gone to visit his father.
Okay. Did he ever provide any information in relation to that, other than just expressing that's where he was?
He was supposed to provide me the information, but at the time, I did not receive it at that time, but I don't know because after my investigation was over, it went to homicide, so I don't know what was provided.
Okay.
But at that time, I did not receive.
He did not follow up and give you the documentation that you had asked him to, correct?
Not at that time.
All right. And he did not follow up with you again. I mean, I know it got transferred, but he did not follow up with you either to give you the documentation that you had requested, though, did he?
No.
Okay. Did you make any attempt other than waiting on him to verify his alibi?
No, I did not.
All right. Now, going up to right around the time that this got transferred to homicide.
Mhm.
Just before that, again, Miss Mobley was getting very upset because enough was not being done in her opinion. And she was expressing that to you guys, correct?
At
Yep.
that time, she would call, but I think
Yeah,
she
I'm
just,
gonna stop right here because I'm running out of time. Y'all leave your remarks, your